Hello, it's me, and you see a lot of parts here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these parts over here that seem to be, well, fairly small in number, and make a puzzle. Now, what puzzle am I going to make? Well, I actually had an unboxing of the parts, but I can't find where I put it, so I figure I'll just show the parts here. Anyway, this is different. These are Shapeways parts, but I gotta tell you, they're polished, and I've never had polished pieces before. They're very, well, they have a different feel. There's no grainy texture to it. Very smooth, so it's pretty fascinating. So the question is, what is it? Here's some of the stickers here, if that's gonna make any sense at any point. So when I first got this, I was missing some screws. I've been accused before of having a screw loose, but in this case it was actually true. I was missing a screw. So now that I have all that back, I can go through the process of assembling this. Now the fun thing about assembling this is that it's kind of like a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle, and when done right, you can then use it as a twisty puzzle. So let's see, what am I gonna, so this looks like a centerpiece over here. So I'm going to take one of these here random screws, put this into here, and screw it in. Where, you ask? Well, I don't know. Just go into one of these holes here. So it would appear that I've got a couple of different centerpieces. Let's see if I can get the orientation here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 more, so that's going to be 8 screws and 8 pieces that screw onto there. So before I jump into this haphazard, let's see what I've got. I've got one piece here, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and give me one more, 4, for what? For 8. Aha. Okay, so all these probably kind of hooking together, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and start to do that. Now, the challenging thing, the challenge of this is that there's really no guide for me to do this. So if anyone should decide to get this puzzle, whatever it should be, maybe this will help you out. But I'm going to go ahead and screw this in over here. Goes in pretty nice. Might as well use a tool. Why not? But yeah, I've done a bunch of assemblies of a bunch of different Shapeways puzzles. This is the most smooth Shapeways piece I've ever seen. Now the question is how to orient this. So I'm not going to tie it too tight. Screw this in. In. Now, how tight is too tight? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out together. Anyway, I usually do just enough to where there's some pretty good amount of tension on it, but maybe not too much. Put a little bit more tension here, I think. Okay. So, from so humble a beginning does begin the puzzle. Okay, so how can I put these in to where they don't bump into each other? Put this guy over here. How about like this? Yeah. I'm just going to kind of loosely put them in and see how well they match. Put this in over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and screw this in here. It's really hard for me to believe that out of this mishmash of pieces is going to come a fascinating puzzle. And it's like walking into the unknown because, like I say, there's no real guidance. But basically what I'm doing, for those who might get this, is I'm taking these centers, I'm just screwing them in. Now, I can't say exactly how they're supposed to go in there, so I don't know how great a tutorial this will be. This is more just the discovery process here. Okay. So I have a pretty good amount of movement here, and you can see that they're next to each other like this. Okay, so I've got this here, this here. Now these larger pieces, I'm sure that they take some other kind of a piece. And actually, as I look at this, see this sort of orange-like slice here? This has that same kind of a slice. I'm almost wondering if this slides into here, just out of curiosity. Just for, aha! Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. So this piece here seems to slide into here. Now the question I have is, do I keep this here? Sure, why not? Now if, I'm just wondering if I have 8 of these pieces to go in with these. Let me separate all these out. So I've got this, they have that sort of orange slice look to it. I've got 1, 2, here's another one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ooh, there's more, 9, 10. It's out of control. There's 10 of those. Now, here's another orange slice kind of a piece too, so I've got to be careful. But I'm going to assume that in between all of these pieces lies these pieces here, because that seems to work okay, and this slides nicely across here. Okay, so why don't I keep going with this? Why don't I keep going with what I'm doing here? So let's take another one of these with another screw, and I'm going to plop that in here, and I'm going to define kind of a side. This, and this go together, and now there should be another piece with a corner piece that screws in. Okay, so I'm going to screw this one in over here. Now, it's not that I have no idea what this looks like when it's finished. I do have an idea. But what if I didn't? Still would be the same. All right, screw this guy in. Now, I'm not really tensioning it that much at all, to be honest with you. So I wonder how rigid this is supposed to be and how much this is supposed to turn. But sometimes you got to leap into the unknown. So turn, turn. Now, as I'm turning this, what I'm noticing is there's really not much more to tension it with. I wonder if I'm supposed to put springs in here or something. Maybe not. Anyway, that's in. Why don't I take one of these and we'll slide this puppy in here as well. The thing about assembling shapeways puzzles, the way that they're done is they should slide in nicely. All right. What is this? What is this going to be? So this comes across into here. So I'm seeing this, 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 and this. And I think I need one more to typify this whole side here. I'm just putting a screw into here. Now I'm kind of wondering if I need any springs or anything like that. I'm going to assume not, for no good reason except that I don't want to use them. Plus this didn't come with springs. And the guy who made this, the guy who designed this, does a very good job of giving you exactly what you need. Hi, Noah.
Hi.
Doing any more looms lately?
Yeah, I have a few that I need you to edit.
Okay. I can do that. What do you think I'm doing here?
You're assembling a puzzle.
I'm assembling a puzzle. Exactly. Wow, this one's gonna be good. What are you sneaking around for? You ain't fooling nobody. No, see, I wonder if this is supposed to come in here, because this, well, are these winged pieces the same as these? Nah, not really. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, Noah. Mm-hmm. Okay. How do I get this in? Maybe I should not have put this in first. Maybe, actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and lighten this one while I slip those other ones in there. So let me lighten this one up here. Okay, and once I do that, I can maybe slip this in here or not. Yeah, these pieces are fascinating in that they're very, very smooth. The smoothest shapeways pieces I've ever seen. There we go. There we go. Clicks right in. Okay, so you can see an external structure starting to take shape here. And now we do this one. I don't want to put too much tension on it. Just a little bit of give here. What I'm doing is I'm turning this to the side just a little bit so that this can slide into here. There we go. And upon sliding, this can work its way into here. Okay, so This is like a half of it here. Now there appears to be a gap in here, and I'm seeing this tiny little piece, and I think that's supposed to fit into there. Now the question is, how am I going to get that in there now that I've sort of sealed this shut? Well, I think maybe if I space the gap out, see, I can turn this around like so, and maybe put it in, aha, that works nice. Okay, now this came out, but that's okay. I can turn this like so, and this can slide into here and then turn in. Okay, so we have a nice situation where the gaps are closed, and this actually moves really smooth here. And I'm wondering about tightening these now. Now it doesn't appear that I can do a whole lot of tightening. After you get to this point here, doesn't really go in that much more. I'm thinking I might have to use springs to do that, but let's see what happens when I don't use a spring. Let's see what happens if, yeah, it looks like it's very stable pieces, and it shouldn't pop on me. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing all around here. So, same kind of thing, I'm just going to put this in, and now that I have an idea about this internal structure, I can kind of coordinate what I have to do a little bit better. Whoops. Let's go ahead and go like this, splat. And now let's turn this in. Now some of you may have already figured out what this is and what I'm making. Okay. Now with that done, I can take another one of these, and that's why this is twice as much as the other ones here. This I've got to slide in. Now putting little bits of tension here, I can see that this is not going to be a very poppable puzzle because it fits very snug in here. Okay, one more here should complete this side, so why don't I take another one of these tiny little things and just slide this into here. So let's see if I can make that happen. There we go. Okay, so that squeezes in there nicely. Turn, okay, and the more I'm putting in here, the more the tension is getting, so I might even have to loosen some of this later. Okay, now what I might do is I might start sliding these pieces in before putting the next one in, because it might get more and more difficult. So I'm going to slide this into here. And slide this into here. And then place the next piece over to here. So, put the screw in right like so. Well, before I put the screw in, let's try to, since we're sliding these guys in, let's just slide this in here. Okay. Okay, so this is fine over here. And now I'm free to more easily put this in. Just have to find where to screw it in right over here. Now I gotta be careful, I don't want to warp the core at all. Tension that I can put on it. So now we have this configuration. So I'm going to take this piece and slide it into here. There we go. And slides nicely in there. Once it's lined up, it fits really, really well. So now the puzzle's getting much more stable here. Okay, what I need to do, I'm going to take the middle ones out here. Okay, yeah, so I think I have to slip this in here first. Now I can put the middle one in. There we go. That slides in much better there. And now we can put this middle one in. And that slides in real nice over there. Okay, this, I can plop this one over to here. And now even before I screw the other ones in, I'm going to take this and I'm going to just place this where it's supposed to be. This may be a little difficult as it's the last one. Oh, and there's one more that belongs here, and that's this guy here. Okay, so now the question is, how do I put this last guy in? So this is taking just a little bit of manipulating. There we go. Hear that click? That was a good sounding click. All right, even without the screws, it's pretty well tensioned. But now I'm going to start placing these. And this. So that's pretty good. So now that everything is clicked into place here, we can start looking at some of the motion. So this here, you can see it turn like so. Now I don't know if this is the right way of doing it, but I can tell you that as I'm doing this, sides are turning better. Okay, so at this point, now that I have this done, I think the actual stickers have to happen. So let's take a look at the stickers. You can see that there's a central piece over here. I'm going to pull this out and just kind of examine what kind of stickers we have. Pretty standard stickers here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with, well, we'll say the white, just because the white is going to hold up against a backdrop better. How many sides do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, they just might have given me a choice of what kind of stickers I want to use. I like to do the standard scheme where I have green opposite blue, red opposite orange, and white opposite yellow. So what's with the pink? Well, we'll see. So we'll start off with the white, and when taking a look at the sticker pattern here, that seems to fit over to here. So I think this first white sticker is going to have to come onto here. Now what I usually like to do is I like to super glue stickers on, just to, you know, make sure that there's no falling off. And the way this puzzle is, falling off might be something of an issue. So when it comes to stickers, you don't need a whole lot of super glue. You really just need a drop. And I don't want to super glue any of the parts. I'm just going to put a tiny little drop there. Okay, so peel off the white sticker here. And then gently place it onto here. Just like that. Okay, don't want to be too much of a perfectionist. Now I'm going to put the rest on. With these, they're going to be sort of the smooth shaped here. Okay, this is going to come onto here, like so. And now across here, they're going to be the larger ones here. And just plop this one on here. Just like that. So it's going to start looking like this. Okay. We seem to be okay. And so we keep going. Okay. Okay, so this is what this looks like over here. Make sure I can turn this all across here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take every side and I'm going to sticker them exactly the same way. And I'm going to do it in the classic Rubik's Cube fashion of doing, say, if each one of these were a side, this would be red, white, and blue, but just across from here is going to be yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to do all of these stickers until all of these are where they need to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so the stickering of these pieces is done. Now the way that I did that is in the classic Rubik's Cube pattern where you can see red, white, and blue if you follow a course clockwise, and then opposite white is going to be yellow, opposite red is going to be orange, and opposite blue is going to be green. So we have this nice pattern over here, and we can even see how some of the scramble can go. So what kind of a puzzle is this? What does this look like? Does this look like a 3x3? Do I need to do more tensioning? This moves pretty smooth, but there's sort of a clicking that happens here. Almost like there's a little bit of a catching. So I'm wondering if maybe something's a little too tensioned over there. I don't really get that in much other places. So in terms of how this moves, notice that when I do one turn like this, 3 sides have moved. Now in that way it looks a lot like a Dino Cube, like a corner turner. Here's a corner. If I were to put orange on top, and let's coordinate it like this, I make one turn like this, and this side, and this side is turned. Just like this. I've got 3 sides that are turned. I've got the green and the yellow. I've got the green and the white. I'm sorry, the green and the orange, green and the white, and the orange and the white. So basically this is like a corner turner where I have corners. I also have an edge and I've got a center. Now there's a specific term for that. You can also see that in this master version of that where this turns and this turns as well. But basically what this is this is a corner turning puzzle. But this particular kind, you've not seen me demonstrate in my collection yet. That's called a Compy cube, or a Compy puzzle. And what that is that has a center that basically stays fixed. Doesn't really contribute to the scramble. And if I were to scramble this up over here, then what that would mean is basically I would solve it a lot like a corner turner.